The afternoon was peaceful in the small town, the kind where life moved at an unhurried pace. Children played in the streets, neighbors chatted on their porches, and the occasional bicycle bell rang through the air. Everything seemed in perfect harmony until the sharp wail of an approaching ambulance shattered the calm. The siren pierced through the town like an urgent cry for help, sending a ripple. Inside the ambulance, paramedics worked frantically. A man lay unconscious, his pulse weak, his breathing shallow. The driver pushed forward, maneuvering through the narrow streets with but as they reached an intersection, something unexpected happened. A large, shaggy dog stood in the middle of the road, unmoving. The ambulance driver honked, but the dog did not flinch. The paramedics shouted, trying to shoo him away, but he stood firm, his gaze locked on the vehicle as if he were challenging it to pass. Onlookers gathered, some whispering, others calling to the dog, offering food, clapping, whistling anything to get him to budge. But nothing worked. He was resolute. Something about the determination in his eyes sent a chill down the spine of those watching. This was no ordinary stray. Someone in the crowd had an idea, called Dr. Emily, the town's veterinarian. If anyone could make sense of the dog's behavior, it was her. Within minutes, she arrived, still in her white coat, a picture of calm amid the growing chaos. She approached the dog cautiously, kneeling before him, her voice gentle. "It's okay, boy. What are you trying to tell us?" she whispered. The dog didn't growl or retreat. Instead, he tilted his head, his eyes filled with urgency, almost pleading. He sniffed Emily's hand, wagged his tail slightly, and then just as suddenly as he had blocked the road, he turned and trotted toward a nearby alley. Then, he stopped, looked back at her, and barked once, sharply, as if commanding her to follow. Emily's heart pounded. He wasn't just any dog, he was guiding her. "I think he wants us to follow him," she called to the crowd. Curious and uneasy, Emily followed, and several residents trailed behind her. The dog moved with purpose, leading them through winding back streets, stopping occasionally to sniff the ground, then hurrying forward again. Finally, he halted in front of an abandoned warehouse, its windows shattered, the walls scorched by soot. A faint scent of smoke still lingered in the air. Emily's breath hitched. This place had been the site of one of the strange fires that had plagued the town recently. The dog whined, then pawed at the door. Taking a deep breath, Emily pushed the door open. The smell of damp ash filled her nose. The space was eerily silent, save for the faint creak of the rusted hinges. Then, she heard it. A weak moan. "Help!" Emily froze. The voice was coming from the far end of the warehouse. She lifted her flashlight, the beam slicing through the darkness, revealing a figure slumped against the wall, dirty, bruised, barely conscious. Michael, the missing firefighter. The realization hit her like a punch to the gut. Michael had vanished weeks ago while investigating the town's mysterious fires. No one had been able to find him, but his dog had. To unfold, Michael, still weak, managed to whisper that he had discovered evidence linking the fires to a deliberate arson plot before he was ambushed and left for dead. He had barely survived, trapped in the warehouse, unable to call for help. As the paramedics stabilized him, Emily noticed something else. The very man in the ambulance, the one Buddy had refused to let pass, had burn marks on his hands. Her blood ran cold. The pieces clicked into place. Buddy had recognized his scent. His so-called victim was no victim at all. He was the arsonist, the one who had tried to silence Michael. Within hours, authorities confirmed the connection, and the man was taken into custody. Thanks to Buddy's unwavering instincts, justice had been served. The town erupted in praise for the heroic dog. A week later, the mayor held a special ceremony in Buddy's honor, awarding him the title of honorary firefighter. The townspeople gathered, clapping and cheering as a medal was placed around his neck. But Buddy didn't care about the applause. His mission was complete. His best friend was safe. As Emily stood beside Michael, watching the golden retriever soak in the affection of the town, she couldn't help but smile. "He's not just a dog," she murmured. "He's a hero." And Buddy, as if understanding her words, simply wagged his tail, his eyes shining with the quiet knowledge that he had done what needed to be done.